Hi friends, welcome to My Sew Bliss. Today I'm excited to be sharing with you guys 10 sewing tools or things that are something I've been grabbing and using a lot lately. So most frequently used tools, I guess we could call this. I have rounded up, all the things that I have to have when I'm sewing or creating, and they've been super useful. Some things I've had for years, some things are more recent that I've just found and I've been using constantly. So I'm excited to share with you guys these 10 items that are wonderful for using when you're sewing. The first item that we have, I've had this for a few years, but this is 1/4 inch tape. You put it on your sewing machine and it shows you exactly where to stitch so that you are a perfect or a scant 1/4 inch away from the seam allowance. So this is wonderful to have, and this roll is going to last you a long time because you just have to rip off a piece, put it on your machine, and I've had one stuck on there for like a year now. I'm sure people change it more than I do, but I've had it there and it hasn't had any issues. It hasn't been that like gunky or anything. So this has been wonderful. It's just a washi tape, but it has that 1/4 inch seam allowance on it, and absolutely have to have it on my machine when I'm sewing. It is so useful. When I use a machine that doesn't have it, I'm lost. I'm lost without it. So this is a definite must-have on all sewing machines. Next thing that I am loving, again, this one I've had for a couple years now. My friend told me about it, was the Stiletto tool. This is a tool by Annie.com, but it has this really sharp point and it's just this metal tip, has this nice handle on it, but this is going to help get things underneath or through your machine, and you can just hold it there. You don't have to worry about like getting your fingers in there or getting too close to the needle and sewing over your finger. This is going to hold those things in place quickly, and it is sharp on the end, so it grabs things really nicely as well. It's been super handy, especially when I'm sewing on like bindings on bags. You have to have it for those projects especially, but honestly I found myself reaching for it for most projects because it's just so handy, and makes your seams so accurate because it makes sure it stays sewing exactly how you want it the whole time, and no fingers are getting sewn over, so that's awesome. We like that. So that's a number 2. Number 3, this is a more newer item for me. I kind of held off on getting it for a long time and then finally got one, and I absolutely love it. This is a binding holder. You can wind your binding through this and it will hold the binding, keep it organized, keep it not twisted up, and keep it looking nice. This has been super handy because I feel like when I make binding, you make a big amount and then it just gets all over the place. It's falling everywhere and looks like a mess. This just keeps it organized and clean. So I know it's more of like a specific thing for like one specific thing, but super handy and absolutely love it. I got this one from stitchsupplyco.com, and I'll put links down below for everything that I talk about, but that's where I got this one. I think it's super fun with this like splattered neon pattern. Just a little, we always love to have fun sewing supplies, so this was a great addition, and like I said, super good for all the holding the binding. Okay, I think we're on number 4 now. So 4th thing is these block lock rulers. Now these are so nice when you're doing half square triangles, and I feel like I'm doing half square triangles all of the time. It's very common, and these block lock rulers come in a bunch of different sizes. My most favorite one, my favorite one is, I think it's a 6.5. It's either a 6 or a 6.5. Actually, I don't know where it is right now, so I need to find it, but it has this like groove in it down here that like locks onto the seam of your fabric so that when you're squaring up your half square triangles, you get that perfect, it like situates perfectly so you can square it up. And You can buy it for every size that you need, obviously, but like I said, my favorite one is like the 6 or 6.5 one that I have. And it's a great size. It just locks in place, makes your blocks so much easier to trim because I hate trimming. So if something's gonna help me with that and make it so much faster, especially if it's a type of block that I'm making all the time, I use it. It's amazing and so great. So I highly recommend these. I know they're a little bit pricier, but if you just got like one for most of the time, for like a block you make all the time, it's super handy and speeds things up a lot, which I think is the most helpful thing with sewing tools. I'll buy them if they're gonna help speed up the process or make it easier and less frustrating for me. So, and I think this definitely does that. Okay, our next one, and I've used this for a few years now too. This is for trimming your threads when you chain piece. I do a lot of chain piecing, especially in quilting. You have this little device, and there's so many cute ones out there, but it has a rotary cutter in the middle of it, and then you just slice your threads along here to trim them. And it's another one of those things that just speeds up the process. Is it necessary to have when sewing? No, not at all. You don't have to have this at all. But does it help speed up the process? Yes. Makes it a little bit easier? Yes. So if you're looking for something to speed up the process and make it easier, this is so great. And like I said, I use it for chain piecing and then cutting them apart. You just go along and you're and quick and easy. And I really like that you can take this off and then it stores flat in here, so it's easy to take wherever. Keeps it extra safe. It's magnetized so it stays together nice and flat. So love this one as well. I've been using for a couple years as well. Okay, I think, was that 4, 5? I don't even know what we're on anymore. But the next thing I made this like 5 years ago and I love it. It's a little basket. It has a wire like spring in it, and I can make it flat so I can like take it places, but a lot of times I just leave it here. But if you want to like take it to a sewing retreat, you can. And it's like a little trash can. I just use it as a little desk trash can. And it's so handy to have. I just throw threads in there and every once in a while I clean it out, but it's just perfect for all those little pieces. So I'm gonna find who has the pattern for this because I can't even remember. It's been so long since I made it, but it's so handy and so nice. I love that I made it out of this fun fabric. And yeah, it's just a staple in my sewing room now. Always sits next to my sewing machine and is perfect for throwing in all those little scraps and keeping it somewhat tidy in here. We're not super tidy, but somewhat tidy. Okay, the next thing I got this last year is color cards. Now, most brands of fabric that have the solid colors will sell some version of this. This is Ruby and Bee. I just really have enjoyed sewing with their solids. So I got the color cards and I'm so happy I did, because now when I am trying to match with a print or just put a bunch of solid fabrics together, I can see it in front of me. And I heard people say it like all the time that it was so handy to have, but I didn't even realize how handy it was until I got the color cards. And it's, like I said, it's been so nice because they have all the colors that they make. You can see them all. I even have another one. I think it's not in here right now, but I have a couple different brands of them. So it's just nice to have and see what options there are, see what goes together, see what matches fabric I already own. So that way I'm not ordering fabric I don't need. It's like saving me money. So this has been super helpful. And like I said, most fabric companies have like a swatch or color cards or something that you can use. I saw someone put magnets on them and put them on a magnet board, and I love that idea. I need a giant magnet board in my sewing room now so that I can put all of these on there. And the other day I was like just looking through them and matching up, like, oh, I want to quilt in these colors right here. Like, this is so fun. So it's just great for ideas and really kind of playing around with different colors and fabrics, because I feel like sometimes I get stuck doing that, and this has made it a little bit easier for me. Okay, last few items. I think we have like 3 left. So there's 2 items from this company, Caterpillar, and I've been using them for the last 6 months, and I have had this next to my sewing machine for the last 6 months, and it's been super helpful for quilt making. And I've been easily able to trim things, square things up. I'll have my ironing mat, which I'm going to show next, right next to it, so I iron and then can trim right away, and it's so handy. It's so nice. So this whole board sits on your table, and you can swivel it so you can turn your block without actually moving your block. But then when you need to cut, you just like compress down, and it doesn't move. So it's super stable. This mat comes off, so you can replace this if you feel like it's getting too cut up, I guess. So that's nice. And it also, like, as you can see, has these different sections. It has the angles, so it's a great cutting mat. Great option. I love the swivel option. Also, I love the size of it. It's I guess it's 6.5 from the middle, so that'd be 13 diameter is what we got, right, math people? So this has been so nice. Like I said, sitting next to my sewing machine, I've kind of had like a lineup. I have my sewing machine, and then I have this cutting mat, and then I have an ironing mat, so that I can just roll from one to the other and make the quilt that I'm making. So it's been so nice. And that leads me to, I think, number 8. This is an Oliso wool cutting mat, and I have loved this cutting mat because they come in a 12 by 12 block, and then you can get as many as you want, and they have little holes like you can see right here, and they all have these little rubber thingamabobs that you rotate out, and it connects with another one. So I have 4 of these, but when I'm sewing like in my sewing room, or even if I'm sewing at my kitchen table, I don't have a ton of room. So I usually just have one, especially if I'm just sewing like a small quilt block. But if I'm needing to iron like a large backing or pants or a dress, I can connect. I have 4 of these, so I can line them up all in a row, or I can create a square or whatever shape I need to iron it, and it is amazing. It's so nice. It's nice and thick. I do just iron it on top of my kitchen table. It's probably not advised, but I don't really care about my kitchen table, so I'm okay with it. But this has been so nice, and like I said, I love the size. I love that I can connect them. I can make them whatever size I need. So if I want it smaller, it's smaller. If I want it larger, it's larger. And that also leads me to my last item, which, like I said earlier, is a Caterpillar item. This is a Caterpillar foldable, what do they call it? The flip and fold cutting mat. This is their largest one. They actually have a smaller one that they recently came out with. I don't own that one yet. I might need it though. But this is the only cutting mat I have been using lately. It is so nice because typically I'll go to my kitchen counter, which is a nice large island to cut things out, but I really like cutting out with my rotary cutter, and this makes it possible, especially if I'm sewing clothing. You have those bigger pattern pieces, and I can do it on this because this folds out so huge. I'm gonna try and show you guys. I'll scoot back. But first you can, okay, so this is one option. You can leave it like this, or you can open it up. I'm gonna make sure I do it. Oh, okay, backwards. And then you have this option, and the numbers stay like, it all works. So 1 to 17 and then 1 to 22 on this size. And then I could open it up and make it super long. This side actually is the one that has, so that goes, it's 48 long. and they connect like a puzzle piece, and they connect really well. They hold really well. They do have markers showing you where the folds are so that you don't actually cut on it, but I feel like those folds are placed in spots that you don't cut all the time, so it's not as likely that you would cut on that spot unless you're not using the ruler on the cutting mat. So it's 48 inches long, but then we can also make it, I want to say, it's huge. we can't even fit. It's 36, so it's 48 by 36 when it's all out. See how big that is? That's huge. So big. And yeah, it like covers my kitchen counter and it's so nice. But I also like it like this, so when I'm cutting long strips, I can cut this whole, and I don't have to move the fabric as much, which makes, I feel like, makes my cutting more accurate. And then when I'm not using it, it's just folded up flat. It's not gonna get wonky, and I love it. It's the best. Like, I became an affiliate for them, which has been really awesome, and I've loved it because I do love their products so much. I'm not just saying it because I get a kickback when people buy from them, but I use them every time I sew. Like I said, I have the circular one, and then if I have something bigger, I'm coming to get this one. So helpful, makes the projects so much easier to handle, and I feel like I'm just more accurate when I don't have to move things around or cut things up differently. So highly recommend those Caterpillar products, as well as everything else that I have recommended. Now, if you're interested in the Caterpillar products, I'm going to put links down below, but also I have, like I said, an affiliate code. If you use Alex Sorensen with an E, and then MYS, so my S, at the end, which will also be down in the description below, so you can just copy and paste it. You will get 15% off anything at Caterpillar. But like any affiliate, you are not charged extra. I just get a small percentage kickback from any sales that I make, and it really helps me in continuing to keep this as my job and keep making videos just like this. So if you have any questions about the products that I've shared, please let me know down in the comment section. I'll make sure to put a list in the description of all the products that I showed, and where you can purchase them as well, or where you can find them, and hopefully all of the information that you will need. But like I said, these are things that I am using constantly lately and absolutely loving, so I thought you guys would like them too. I hope you found this helpful and maybe found a new product that you will love, or that will help make your sewing a little bit easier. So make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!